Having a goal in mind when you go in for your headshots can really help to focus your shoot on expressions that will get you cast in the roles you'd like to play. So the first thing you want to ask is, what kind of archetypes do you typically play, or what characters are you best suited for? As much as I might want to play a dark superhero femme fatale, I would probably be cast more as a quirky girl next door kind of Zooey Deschanel character. So I would want to focus on more lighthearted or intelligent expressions as opposed to something that would be more villainous or too intense. So let's focus on this girl next door persona. Now, we typically define this character as someone who is inherently likable and sympathetic, someone who's not always worried about being impressive or flashy. If we think about Zooey Deschanel's character in New Girl, we think of someone who is kind and funny and trustworthy. Keeping that in mind, a headshot that is too cocky or intense might seem kind of out of place for this specific character. Instead, we would want to focus on something with a softer expression, so a relaxed closed mouth smile, a warm open mouth smile, anything that will convey that sense of trustworthiness and kindness. The girl next door is someone that we want to root for, so we want to be able to root for that character in your headshot as well. Let's say I also get cast as the rebel. That might be a bit of a contradiction from the girl next door, but we'll go with it. For this character, we typically think of someone who embodies autonomy, might have street smarts, is very confident. This is someone who might also be very independent, is fearless, and is very charismatic. So then for this type of character, confidence would be a really important element to feature in your headshot. Bringing a lot of that confidence through the eyes and having a darker, blurry background would really embody that character. In the same way that these darker characteristics wouldn't really work for the girl next door persona, the lighter-hearted smiles that you'd use for a character like Jessica Day probably wouldn't fit for a character in a Jack Kerouac novel. So take a look at the roles that you've been cast in before and bring those ideas to your photographer when you meet for your shoot or consultation. If you both know what characters you're aiming for, your photographer will be better able to direct for that expression, and you'll feel more confident experimenting with that persona in front of the camera. You can also ask how your photographer would typically direct for those expressions and whether or not you'll have the chance to kind of experiment with that persona while you're on your shoot. So what archetypes do you usually play? We definitely want to hear about them, so leave us a note in the comments. Also, let us know if you want us to do a more comprehensive breakdown of different archetypes and different characters so that you'll better know for your next photo shoot.